Hola, buenos dias.
Good morning.
We are having a rough morning today.
Oh,
It's Fermin's fault.
I think it was just the wine was good, the conversation was great, and I probably should have switched to water earlier. It was a great night. We can't say enough. If you're watching this and you're trying to take advice on lodging, we list everything, but we spend a little extra time shouting out our favorite places.
And Casa Susie is at the top of the list.
Yeah.
So this morning we are walking to O Cebriero.
This is our second biggest climb of the entire Camino, and the first one happened a month ago. So we've got some stuff, we've got some work on our legs to do.
So let's get walking. And
we're so uninspiring this morning. Okay.
Like, man, vamos.
Stay at Casa Susie. Let's go.
Let's talk about accommodations. A lot of Americans get very confused when they look at the guidebooks or they look at the booking between the difference of the different kinds of accommodations, such as albergue or hostel, pension, hotel, and it can be a little bit confusing. The most basic are the albergues and hostels, and they're basically the same thing. The albergue is the traditional pilgrim lodging, and those are almost always dormitory style rooms where you have multiple beds. Next up, we have the Casa Rurales, which is a rural house. And those don't have to be out in the middle of nowhere in rural countryside. They can be in the middle of cities, but those are generally more like a bed and breakfast type situation, where it's a private home where they've got a couple of extra rooms, or sometimes just one room, that they let out for one night or for multiple nights.
Sometimes they have private bathrooms, sometimes they don't.
Next up is a pension. The pension is like a hotel, only kind of a step down. So the hotels, of course, just like hotels you'd see in the United States, the biggest difference is there are no chains. So you're not going to see a Ramada or a Hilton or a Holiday Inn or whatever other chain brand. Most of the hotels are privately owned, or if they're owned by a chain, that's not really the name of the hotel. It's still very local because it was originally a family-run hotel, so it still carries that name even though it might be owned by a bigger corporation. And all of these different types of lodging, whether it's an albergue, a hostel, pension, Casa Rurales, hotel, all of them have star ratings, which could go anywhere from 1 to 5 stars for a hotel. Albergues can only go up to 3 stars. And then the casas and the pensions, I believe, can be up to 4 stars.
And they have reviews just like everything else. You can use the website CaminoSleeps.com or Gronze.com, GRONZE.com, and you'll see reviews from other pilgrims. Google Maps will show you reviews, so you can see what they are. And of course, Booking.com has not only reviews, but ratings as well.
Now, some of those places take reservations. Obviously, the hotels are all going to take reservations.
Most of them do.
Most of the pensions, Casa Rurales, and even the albergues and hostels will take some reservations, but there are some exceptions where they only have beds for walk-ins. Now, the beds,
that's a different subject.
In them is a whole other subject.
We're standing next to a 3-star hotel on the side of the Camino. There's even a hotel behind us, but you can hear and see all the semis. No pilgrim wants to stay here.
This is really like a truck stop hotel.
When it comes to the way I book all of our reservations, I'm looking at having a mixture of types of accommodations, but my focus more is types of beds. So for this Camino in particular, we were looking for a few more shared room experiences, and we were also trying to keep the budget under an average of €60 a night. And that meant that we got to have some luxury during our rest days. So our rest days are always private room, private bathroom. And because of all of our Caminos in the past, we were looking for air conditioning. And also you don't want the street noise in the city. And this is what takes a lot more work, right? You could go to booking.com and book all of your reservations. I like looking at the websites we've mentioned, Camino Sleeps and Groans, because I'm looking for communal dinner. That was an important experience we wanted to add. What do you think, Brian? Has it been worth it?
It has been. We have had wonderful experiences. Yeah. And you know, when you're in a hotel, you talk to the person at the front desk, reception, and then you kind of go to your room and you don't really see other people.
Right.
And it's not the way to experience the community of the Camino.
So I wanted to mix it up. I wasn't necessarily looking for just shared beds, period. First was, let's find as many communal dinners as possible so that we can build as many relationships as possible. And we have done that. And when there haven't been communal meals, we've created our own community by gathering people up and saying, hey, we're going to eat at 7. Who wants to join us? And we've done it that way. But I look for private room, private bathroom at a reasonable rate on rest days. Then I look for private room, shared bathroom. That's okay too, especially if the price is right. And then when it comes to the albergues that have like more dorm style, I'm looking for single beds versus bunk beds. The single beds, when there's only like 4 or 5, last night at Casa Susie, 10, not bad at all. The hardest part is everyone's schedule, right? Because everyone's trying to be respectful of each other, but at the same time, it's can be hard. In the end, the work that I put into planning our Camino has been very beneficial for us because we have a variety of types of rooms in our accommodations, and we have had great communal dinners. You don't have to spend your time planning the way we do. However, we really enjoy mixing it up, and that's harder to do on the fly because a lot of them fill up.
We've been hearing from pilgrims that they are not having problems just walking into villages and finding a bed at night. So some people are not doing any reservations ahead if they're staying in bunk rooms. But every year is different, and you just have to be aware of what's happening ahead of you on the Camino.
Yeah, every month is different. Now,
I found a bar. It's time for breakfast. This road used to be the main route up through this valley, but a highway's been built that kind of has left all these towns behind. We have been gradually climbing uphill, really for a day and a half now, through this valley. But as you can see from the highway up in front of us, we're about to run out of valley and have to just suck it up and go over.
Yeah, we're climbing today to O Cebriero, the second biggest climb of the trek, and we ran into these guys and just happened to ask where they were from. And you're from?
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yeah, out here
Super
on your
close.
honeymoon.
Yeah.
That's awesome. They're also YouTubers. What's your channel?
The Roaming Rosses.
You guys, they're going to be out for 7 to 8 months.
Yeah.
So make sure
Awesome.
you talk. We'll link them below.
It's a pretty epic honeymoon.
Oh, thank you. Trying.
Yeah. What's after the Camino?
Portugal. Head to Portugal, explore that, and then head to Tunisia. And then after that, figure it out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Make sure you check them out. I'm floating in the breeze.
It is currently the Festival of San Fermin in Pamplona. Fortunately, those bulls do not want to chase us, because I certainly right now do not want to run from them.
There are a couple of ways to get to the top of O Cebriero. There's a taxi, probably. I'm sure there is.
You could definitely do a taxi. We did talk to some pilgrims who were doing that. If you're choosing to walk, there are two routes. One route, which is what we are on, is the typical Camino route. The second route is more on the road for bicyclists.
Yeah, I don't know how long that is, though.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a longer walk.
Yeah.
And of course, the last way is Victor.
So the horses, Victor runs trail rides up to the mountain. We didn't do it in 2017 because I just couldn't do it mentally after getting thrown from a horse and having my pelvis broken and my arm broken. We did it in 2019.
We did the horses.
We did the horses. We had the horses take us up. And it was a good experience because it was my first time getting back on a horse since the accident. And then this time we're choosing to walk. They have pros and cons. I think the horses is a really cool experience. Just see the countryside by horse. You've been walking all this time. So I think it's a really cool experience. If you take the horses, you'll love it. But you won't get any photos because every photo will be bounce, bounce, bounce. So maybe you could have the GoPro going.
We have quite a few blurry photos from that trip.
Yeah, so pros and cons. For us, it was a big moment. And today, walking up, I'm actually feeling a sense of pride I haven't felt in myself, that I haven't felt in a really long time. So today, walking up here and feeling as good as we have on this Camino is just giving me a sense of pride for us. And I think one thing you do have to remember is when you're feeling that sense of pride in yourself and in your partner, make sure you still let everybody else have their moments because they may not be there. I wasn't there. This is our 5th Camino and I'm finally, I don't know, feeling a little bit more like my old self again. And that is a gift all on its own.
It's definitely not an easy walk today, but the sense of accomplishment of getting up here is really phenomenal. And of course, today we've got amazing weather. The temperatures are great. There's a nice breeze. The only other disadvantage I can think of walking up this route is that you do have to avoid the grenades that Victor's horses have left behind on the trail.
I mean, they're probably, you know, leaving a lot. Yeah, it's true. They do.
All right, we're getting close, and we have one more village before we get to O Cebriero.
And we're going to see the sign that says we've entered Galia.
So, vamos.
Let's go.
All of Castilla y León laid out behind us. And just around this corner, we enter Galicia, the last of the subautonomous regions that we will cross into. Galicia is welcoming us.
Yay!
Are we there yet?
Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
No, we're here.
We're here.
Ustedes aquí.
Stay in the present moment. Be present and listen.
We are walking into O Cebriero. We finally made it to our destination for today. We're at about 19 kilometers. We have climbed 900 meters total. This was a tough walk today. We took it nice and slow, made a lot of stops, but this is the payoff because what a beautiful village. To me, this is the best village on the Camino. Here in Casa Anton in O Cebriero, we have a private room. We're on the upstairs little reception room. A couple of rooms up here. Room 102
And it is a beautiful little room.
This is such a cute room. So we stayed in this exact room in 2017 or 2019, and the price has gone up substantially because they did remodel the whole thing. But check out the bathroom. Look at the sink.
Shower. Oh,
It's
like a
beautiful.
stone sink.
Now, you do have to watch the pilgrims going by on the toilet. But look at this. This is just beautiful. And the bed is comfortable, and the Wi-Fi, remember the password was already in my phone from the last time we were here. And we don't have to take our luggage downstairs because they're gonna do it all for us.
Easier for the client.
Easier for the client.
This side of O Cebriero. This is the route that we came up through this valley. Now I'm going to walk through the village to the other getting as we walk back down tomorrow. O Cebriero is quite the tourist stop. Many of these pilgrims walked here, but a lot of them got here other ways too. The church here in O Cebriero is the oldest on the Camino, built in the year 867. Hola, buenos dias.
Good morning.
We are here in front of Casa Anton, where we stayed last night in O Cebriero, and we are on the way out. And as you can tell this morning, we got a little bit of rain.
Yeah, it's just foggy. You can't see
It's kind
anything.
of misting.
I'm so glad we had the views yesterday.
Yeah.
I hope the trail's not too wet. That's the only thing I'm concerned about because we've got a steep downhill today.
And this flag snow can be really slick. I hope we don't end up walking down the mountain looking like San Roque. And you'll understand what that means in a minute.
We got 21 kilometers today, but again, we've got cool temperatures, so I'm not going to complain about the mist and the fog. But we got to go.
Vamos a Triacastela. What do you think about the trail this morning, Michelle?
For a trail that's totally downhill, there's a lot of uphill. I knew it was coming, and I'm still a little grumpy about it. It's raining as well.
What you're seeing on the screen right now is the elevation profile from our walk today between O Cebriero and Linares. And man, they should just call this section the roller coaster.
The funny thing is, you can rent mountain bikes to go down the hill, and they show this elevation chart. I wish I would have taken a picture of it because it shows that it's totally downhill. And well, we've done this before, so we knew they were lying. I wouldn't want to be doing some of this uphill, and they're mountain bikes, so they're intended to be on this trail. I mean, give me a road bike and go down that big hill, sure, but it's a lot today. How much? You said, I think yesterday we did like 800 meters of elevation, and today
On the downhill,
walk today
we're climbing 400 meters up. But we're also going down like 800 or 900 meters.
But we go up, we go down, and they don't just go up. They're steep, but I'm gonna try not to be grumpy. Let me have my coffee first.
Some
Turn that
cafe
thing
con
on.
leche. That's my downhill, right? Nope. My downhill is going uphill. Buen camino. Well, he's obviously better at this than I am.
You're gonna need a pen.
Yeah, you're gonna want to write this one down. I have a personal Camino Pro Tip for you. So one of my rules on the Camino, because I wear sandals, is to never get poop under my toes. Under my toenails, particularly. And the only thing worse than walking through piles of poop on the Camino is walking through piles of wet poop on the Camino.
But our Camino Pro Tip for today is?
Don't touch the poop. Not even to do this. We did not make this arrow. It was on the trail already.
But of course we photographed it.
Why in the world would you do that?
Should we wash our hands?
No. We're number 2.
I just don't understand. A lot of the villages that we're walking through are farming villages. So the barns, milking barns, whatever, are right in the middle of town, which means the Camino, which walks right through the middle of town, is walking right through the cattle trail. So
Today it was really hard to miss the wet poop.
The road is the way we came in, down by those houses. And we came up this, and we're still going up that. Across the valley, if you can see it through the fog, is the quarry of limestone that tradition dictates during the 11th or 12th century when the cathedral was being built, that pilgrims would stop at the quarry, pick up as much rock as they could carry it, take it several miles, kilometers down the valley to the kilns where it would be ground and then hardened into the stones to build the Camino de Santiago. Nice open too. Here in Galicia, the mountains and the mist and the fog has really supported for centuries a folklore of mysticism and witches and fairies and house elves.
They're all good luck. They're all an important part of the culture, and they have positive meanings.
Our Camino today has been very magical, not just because of our views and the mist and the fog, but because of some of the people that we've met.
But it's been magical because somehow we have gone downhill by walking completely uphill. So sometimes the Camino Magic is ironic.
Yeah, I think one of those witches might have been playing tricks on us today.
But we did have some real Camino magic in this story. You're going to hear these two that met on the Camino. I mean, we've heard of it before. We've heard of people post-Camino talking about the fact that they've met, but we've never seen people who have only been together, meaning just as friends and whatever is developing in their relationship, for less than a month. And I think it's a really great story.
I'm David from Lithuania.
And I'm Lisa from Belgium.
Okay. And did you meet on the Camino or did you know each other before?
We met on the Camino. It was my day 2 and Lisa's day 4.
Exactly,
Day 4.
And where did you start the Camino?
Saint John.
Saint-Jean.
Saint-Jean? Awesome. And why are you walking the Camino?
Basically in between careers, so I'm swapping into a different sort of role entirely and decided it's time to reset and just think what I'm going through.
Yeah.
And that's why I took it.
And you know the new career you're going into?
Yes, it's IT based.
Okay. And do you have a job waiting when you get home?
Oh no. It's purely, open for anything.
Okay. And how about you? Why did you walk the Camino?
Well, I have been battling depression for over 10 years, and I thought it was time to break free. And I took a one-way ticket to Saint-Jean. So there's no job waiting for me back home.
And now this is happening.
It is.
And that's exciting. And have you walked together almost every day since then?
Every day.
Yeah.
Not almost every day.
Every
since
day,
then.
yeah. Well, it's been magical.
That's
It's
awesome.
been so great, and I'm so excited for the future. Yeah,
The Camino is magical.
it is. yeah.
Absolutely. If you were to give a pilgrim any advice walking the Camino, what would be one piece of advice you would give somebody?
Probably don't overpack. You don't need your life with you. Definitely don't.
Good one. How about you?
To just not rush things and plan everything ahead, and just let the Camino provide.
Isn't that just an amazing story?
You guys keep us posted on how you're doing. Leave some comments below and tell us post Camino, because this won't be coming out until after the Camino's over. And just let everybody know who's watching how you're doing.
And hey, if we need to book flights to Lithuania, just let us know.
We'll be there.
We're in the village of Ramil, and right here in front of us is the oldest tree on the Camino. This is a chestnut tree. This tree is estimated to be 800 years old, and it's one of the most photographed natural wonders in Spain. For context, there you go. That's a big tree.
We were a little too tired when we got in to go hunting for where the clothesline was. We finally found it, this beautiful garden. But we'll show you where we hung our clothes. Our room is right up there. It's hard to see, but our clothesline is a little low. We didn't want everyone to see our dirty laundry. We're just hanging out tonight at albergue
El Trio.
El Trio, sorry. And it's really quite beautiful.
It's two farmhouses that have been converted into one residence. Little kitchen for pilgrims here.
3 shared rooms and a couple private rooms.
But the ceiling, the roof open to the stars.
And here's our room.
High beams.
Very spacious.
The bathrooms.
Nice
Very
ceilings.
nice.
Little balcony area. Nice little bathroom. 2 big, comfortable beds. And by the way, Triacastela no longer has 3 castles, and it is quite a small little village.